children. By the way, I am teacher Elmer, your teacher for today's lesson. What I will be discussing to you is all about visualizing numbers up to 10,000 and also giving the place value and value of each digit. Therefore, at the end of the lesson, you are expected to, number 1, visualize numbers up to 10,000, and the second one, give the place value and value of 4 to 5 digit numbers. When you were in grade 2, you were taught how to visualize or represent numbers. This time, let us continue to learn the same, but with 4 to 5 digit numbers. Let's start on the first topic. Look at the problem on the board. It says here that Month 1, a carpenter was trying to calculate how many pieces of square tiles he needs to buy to cover the floor of his 5-story building. He thought of using squares, longs, flats, and blocks for easy computation. How did he do it? Take a look on this illustration. One square represents one floor tile. One long represents 10 floor tiles. One flat represents 100 floor tiles, and one block represents 1000 floor tiles. So, how do we use this to get the total number of tiles? According to Month 1, he was able to calculate 5 blocks, 3 flats, 2 longs, and 4 squares. I said a while ago that one block represents 1000. So in this case, 5 blocks is multiplied to 1000, or you can add 1000 for 5 times and you will get the same answer, which is 5000. In the case of flats, there are 3 flats in the illustration. And what number is represented by one flat? Yes, you are correct. It is 100. So in this case, 3 flats mean that there are 3 100s. So we will multiply 3 to 100, or we will add 100 3 times, and we will arrive at the same answer. And what would be the answer? Yes, you are correct again. It is 300. Let's now proceed to the next illustration, which is the long. How many longs can you see? Yes, there are 2 longs. And what is represented by one long? Fantastic! You can still recall what was shown a while ago. If there are 2 longs in the illustration, what is the total number that they represent? Genius! Yes, it is 20, because we multiplied 2 by 10, or we added 10 for 2 times. For the last one, there are 4 squares in the illustration, and I said that one square represents 1. So my question now is, what is the total number that 4 squares represent? You are very correct. The answer is 4. How were we able to get 4? We multiplied 4 by 1, or we added 1 4 times. Let's now go back to the question a while ago. How many floor tiles does Month 1 need? To get the answer, let's just add all the total numbers that these illustrations represent. So we add 5000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 4, then the answer will be... Excellent! The answer is 5324. So, 5324 is the total number of floor tiles needed by Month 1. There are other ways on how to present or visualize numbers. We can use number disc. Look at the example on the board. If you notice, each number disc have numbers inside them. These are the numbers that they represent. They differ also in size. The bigger the size of the number disk, the bigger the number it represents. And same through on the other way around. The smaller the size of the number disk, the smaller the number it represents. In this example, there are 3 number disks that represent 1000, 2 number disks that represent 100, 3 number disks that represent 10, and 2 number disks that represent 1. If we add all the numbers represented by the number disk, we'll have 3232. Aside from using number disks, we can also use objects to represent a number. Take a look at the example. I used a ball to represent numbers. But just like what I told you, the bigger the size of an object, the bigger the number it represents. And the smaller the size of an object, the smaller the number it represents. Let's now move to the second topic, which is all about identifying the place value and value of a number. What is the difference between a place value and value? A place value is the place or position of a digit in a number. It could be the ones place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000s place, and so on. While for a value, we can get the value of a certain digit by multiplying the digit to its place value. Let's take a look at the place value chart. I used 34,236 as an example to be placed on the place value chart. In the second row of the table after the title, the place values are written. On the third row, it is where we put the number. And if you observe, each digit of the number is aligned according to their place value. And in identifying the place value of a certain digit, we always start from the ones place going to the 10,000s place, or it is from right to left direction. On the fourth row of the table, it is where we can find the digits in relation to their place value. Actually, this is the first step to do when we identify the value of a certain digit in a number. In the next row, we now copy the different digits. Afterwards, we convert the place value into their figures. Then we multiply it to each digit. In the last row, it is where we can now find the value of each digit in a number. If you are hard up in identifying the place value and value of the digits, you can use the place value chart as your guide. But there is another way in identifying the place value and value of the digits in a number. We will not be using the place value chart. You just memorize the place value. The first digit would be the ones, second digit would be the tens, third digit would be the hundreds, fourth digit would be the thousands, and fifth digit would be the 10,000s. Let us look at the example. We will be using the same number, which is 34,236. So when we identify the place value, we will follow the right to left direction, starting from the ones place until 10,000s place. So let's start. 6 is the first digit in the number, so it is in the ones place. 3 is the second digit, so it is in the tens place. 2 is the third digit, so it is in the hundreds place. 4 is the fourth digit, so it is in the thousands place. And 3 is the fifth digit, so it is in the 10,000s place. After identifying the place value of each digit, we can now identify the value of each digit by just multiplying the digit to their place value. Look what will happen to the illustration. You see, each digit has its own value. Do you like to have a short activity to see if you understood the lesson?
Yes!
Are you ready? Choose the letter of the correct answer from the questions that I will be showing. What is the place value of the underlined digit in the number 14,652? A. Tens, B. Hundreds, C. Thousands, D. 10,000s. If your answer is letter C or thousands, you are correct. What is the value of the underlined digit in the number 62,789? A. 6, B. 600, C. 6,000, D. 60,000. You are incredibly genius if your answer is letter D or 60,000. What number is being represented by the figures below? A. 2,314, B. 2,424, C. 3,314, D. 1,323. If your answer is letter A or 2,314, then congratulations! You got the correct answer. Before you can read numbers, you should know how to visualize them first. After that, you should also know the place value and value of each digit in a number. Again, in visualizing numbers, we can use squares, longs, flags, and blocks, or by using number discs or any objects that we want to represent the numbers. Identifying also the place value and value, it is best to use the place value chart. But if you are already familiar with the place value chart, you can just memorize the different place value starting from the ones place until 10,000th place, starting from the first digit until the fifth digit. After memorizing them, it is easy for you now to get the value because you will just multiply the digit to its place value. After my discussion, it is now time for you to do the activities in your activity sheets. Until then, this is Teacher Elmer signing off. Thank you.